Good evening. Others also join. Then we'll begin with the motion and measurement of distances. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Shreyans, what happened in the test, dear? Why 19 out of 30?
Actually, ma'am, this chapter I was not attending this class, ma'am, and the properties were not taught in my class, ma'am.
Uh, Revise these two chapters once again, and in the next class, I think it's tomorrow only, let me know if you want me to repeat any topic. Okay.
Okay.
So now for this week, motion and measurement of distances. I hope this all of you have like covered this chapter at least once.
No, ma'am, I did not. In school, we are about to start it. We didn't start it yet.
Okay. But in that case, because now exams are approaching and we have less time left, so like, you have to put little more efforts. Although I'll be summarizing the all the topics, but you put more efforts so that I can understand that you are getting everything, and I'll try to reach at the main points, but you have to analyze everything in detail. Okay, let's begin with when we say any object is in motion. When an object is said to be in motion. Very simple. If when an object is said to be moving. Are you moving right now? Okay, can you hear me?
At first,
Yes, ma'am, you fine.
they are moving.
So I'm asking Trilokya, when we say an object is moving, have you, okay, when a train passes by and you are standing at the platform, will you call that train is in motion or at rest?
Ma'am, motion.
Okay. Right now, are you moving? Are you in motion?
No, ma'am, like if we're talking, I guess we are in motion.
No. If you turn the switch, fan switch on, then it will be in motion.
Yes, ma'am.
But now your fan is at rest, it is off.
Yes, it's not at motion.
So very simple to understand. When anything changes position with respect to time is said to be in motion. You are not changing your position right now. I am also sitting at one place only. We both are not in motion. But the train, if it passes by and we are looking from the platform, it is in motion. Birds are often seen to be in motion. Okay. So first to have look at these New definition, simple terms, distance, rest and motion. Distance is the length of space. Don't write anything, everyone. You can write later on, later. Distance is the length of space between any two points. Like if I ask you to measure the length of the book, you will obviously you will see the two parallel sides and you'll measure the length in between those two parallel sides. Okay. Rest, the object which remains stationary, means it is not changing its position, is said to be at rest. And when we call any object in motion, whenever any object travels from one place to another, howsoever fast, howsoever small it is said to be in motion. Right? Now, how wide it is, because it is not only about speed, not in motion, but measurement of distances also. So, if I ask you how much is your school, is it possible for you to walk to the market? Tilokya, can you move to the market just by walking, or you need to have cycle or something?
Ma'am, some vehicular, like a cycle is also.
Okay. So, is market near for you to go by walk only? Once you there,
Ma'am, like it is possible, ma'am, but it will take a lot of efforts, ma'am.
lot of efforts. It seems so. Trilokya, I'm guessing market from your place might be in between 1 to 2 kilometer only, right? And Shreyan's, I think it is more than 4 kilometers. That's why you're telling it requires effort. It is about 3 or 4 kilometers. Okay. Adyakshin, Neha, Nishika, can you all move to market by walk?
Ma'am, but if we can do it by walk, but it's gonna take a lot of time.
Lot of times. So almost 2 kilometers.
Yes.
Otherwise, if it is less than a kilometer, I think everyone will prefer to go by walk.
Yes.
And Nishika,
Yes, ma'am.
by walk?
You can walk, but it's gonna take like a couple of hours.
Oh, couple of hours. Oh my God. Okay. It's often important to know how far a place is so that we can have any idea how we are going to reach that place, obviously. Not suppose we need to move to our city to another city, we'll prefer a bus or a train. But if we have to move, suppose from Delhi to Bangalore, from Hyderabad to Gujarat, I think train will also be taking a lot of time, so we'll prefer to go by air, right? Getting it? It's class. Audible, please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
huh. So depending upon the distance, we decide that how are we going to commute to that place.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Now, like I told you, moving from Delhi to Bangalore will be, you can say, thousands of kilometers, and train also gonna take a lot of time. So because but road transport will be, it will be like zigzag way, means actual path by road. But that from this to this point, we are almost going to reach by just by traveling straight in between 2 points, almost straight. Right? That's why the time reduces.
It's 2,000 kilometers.
2000, yeah, thousands. Okay. Sometimes there are objects whose length or width we need to know. How much your friend is sharing the desk. Oh my God. These are few funny things by which we can understand well. Often it happens while sitting on a desk, we say like this half portion is yours and this half is mine. Yeah, right? And if our friend is trying to cover our portion also, we just remind him immediately, no? Try to be in your range, please. I also used to do this thing, so I remember. How much is the length of cloth should be to stitch a kurta? Whenever you go to a designer boutique or tailor, you ask, please stitch a shirt for me or trouser for me. They must be asking now, okay, for whom we need to stitch, like for you, for your parents. Matlab, means he needs to see the size of the person. Then he'll tell, we need 4 meters of cloth, we need 2 meters of cloth is enough, right? So measurement is very important, uh, according to the use, according to a requirement. Now, how, whenever, suppose you want an almirah, like almirah fitted into the wall. You have to call a carpenter. You cannot just tell a carpenter, I need almirah, and he'll make it for you. No. He wants measurement. He needs size. How much is the space? How much length you need for what purpose? How much width, etc. Everything. And then he takes the measurement. You will get this space, and the door will be of this much width. So the door will also take this width, etc. Okay. Again, a farmer needs to know the area of his land to know how much seed he can sow and how much water would be needed for his crops. Now, how long is your room? Accordingly, we purchase bed for it. Accordingly, we purchase a study table, etc. Uh, let's do a simple activity. Do you all have scale or inch tape right now? Can you get it? Do you have that long scale of 30 centimeters or inch tape?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, Using your foot as a length, measure the length and width of your room. Okay, but before that, see, the whatever the size of your foot is, this is your foot, and you have to measure the length of your room, the room where you are sitting. No need to just move to the corner place. You can measure the length anywhere you find a space, but it would be straight. Go it now, go for now. Tell me the length of your room in footsteps. One, then two, then three, etc. Go quickly, I'm waiting. Everyone. Any thought? Answer?
Ma'am, only the length?
Only the length, yeah.
Ma'am, my length is 16 foot.
16 feet, okay. Adaption 16 footsteps. Oh, sorry,
Ma'am,
throw
I'm trying.
okay.
Mine 13 steps. Ma'am,
Ma'am, mine is 18.
Priyan's how many? 13. Then Nishita,
Ma'am, 18.
18. Adaption,
Mom, 13.
sorry, Neha,
Mom, 13.
13. And adaption,
Ma'am, mine's 15.
15. See, okay, we know that everybody's room is actually not of the same length and width, it differs. But still, your foot size of you or your foot size and your friend's foot size might differ. It is a possibility. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Is
Yes,
that a huh? So foot because of different foot lengths, we cannot like assume this foot length as a standard unit of measurement because everybody's foot size is different. Okay. Now using your hand span. Are you all sitting on a table right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Using a handspan, hand
No, ma'am.
finger, okay, and measure the length of your table now, and tell me the length of your table.
Ma'am, my computer table is 3, ma'am.
Handspan, okay,
Sorry, ma'am, my laptop table.
okay. Next quiz.
Ma'am, my table is 6.5.
6.5, okay.
Ma'am, mine is 18 and a half, ma'am. Ma'am?
18.5. Oh my God. Hmm.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Nishita, Neha,
mine is 10.5.
okay, Neha,
Mom, mine is 7.
14,
7.
okay. Again, your handspan might differ, and if I give you a table of same size, then also you will tell me the different handspans. Why? Because, okay, so why we took this activity? Because in earlier time, like hundreds of years ago, people, when they did not, when they did not like decided the standard unit, they used to measure the things as a measure of a foot, as a measure of handspan, as a measure of the size of a finger, and what's one more thing, from their elbow to their middle finger. From the elbow, half arm length, from the elbow to the middle finger. But all these things, could not be considered as a standard unit because of difference in everybody's body size. Right. Now, what happened? So, what is a measurement? Measurement is actually the comparison of an unknown quantity with some known quantity of the same kind. It consists of unit of measurement and the number of units of the object measured. Okay, let's have a look. Conventional method of measurement. There were handspan, length between tip of the thumb and little finger, which you just did, and cubit length. Cubit length is length between the tip of middle finger and elbow. Look into the picture. Arm length from shoulder to the tip of middle finger. Okay, like this boy is stretching his hand. Footstep is this, and yard is the distance between the end of outstretched arm and the chin. Fine, so there were different measures, but none of these like moved to the standard unit because of difference in the body sizes. So how many? Basically, we have three fundamental quantities. Fundamental means the basic quantities which further cannot be divided into any more basic ones. That is length, mass, and time. So how many units of length you have heard in practical? You must have heard meter, centimeter, inch, foot, meter, kilometer, right?
Yes,
Tell
ma'am.
hmm? But apart from
Yes.
this, we have millimeter also. If you all are having scale ruler right now, you can see that 1 centimeter mark has 9 division. 9 lines means 10 division in between. Like this, if it is 0 on your scale, this is 1. 9 lines means overall 10 division. So that one smaller division is known as 1 millimeter. Okay, so 1 centimeter has 10 millimeter. further we can go very smaller units, means we have smaller than 1 millimeter also. It can be, can anyone tell? Decimeter.
1 decimeter, 1 decameter.
Decameter is 10 meter, 10 centimeter.
Decameter, nanometer?
Nanometer is how many? See, we have meter as the standard unit of length. Meter is considered as a standard one because it is accepted worldwide across the globe. Okay, so 1 nanometer is 10 to the power minus 9 meter. Now minus 9 means any number in power, if it is negative, that means you can take that whole number in denominator and it will become positive. On moving from numerator to denominator and denominator to numerator, the sign of the power changes. So 1 divided by 10 to the power 9 means if you divide 1 meter into 10 to the power 9 parts, can you imagine? That is the size of 1 nanometer. We have micrometer. Micrometer means 10 to the power minus 6 meter. So these are, okay, very smaller units, but for now you can just write millimeter, then centimeter, we have inch, we have foot, meter, kilometer, then we move to miles and millimole. Okay. Similarly, units of mass are, you can write later on. I'll give you the time to write also. Mass units. When you purchase grocery, vegetables, etc., you ask the vendor to like sometimes weigh 250 gram, 500 gram, etc. Right? So we have the smallest unit we use practically is gram, then pounds, kilogram, right? And for time, the smallest unit of time and the standard one is second. Children, the ones which I'm encircling are the standard units. These are only accepted across the globe. Rest all are used, but they are not standard. Okay. Next is minutes, hour, you can say days, weeks, months, year, etc. Please note down the units.
And we have to note down the unit of length, mass, and time.
Note the all three for length, mass, and time.
Okay.
Now, is that there are three fundamental units: length, mass, time.
Okay. And can you also write standard units of measurement?
Okay.
Okay.
Over.
Yes, ma'am.
Other girls?
Ma'am, only the 3 units of length, right? Length, mass, and time, right?
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope you noticed standard units also. And the last one is MKS system. See, these are the fundamental units. Okay. So the standard units are whenever you talk to some other person living in some other country also. And like might be they in regular use they use kilometers, but when we will talk to each other we will converse our values in terms of these three only. That's why we have derived a system called SI, standard international standard system. This is also called MKS system, meter kilogram second. MKS stands for meter kilogram second, is only the standard international standard system. Okay. Overwriting. Overwriting. Class 7, done writing.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a very nice table. Uh, Let me summarize only, but you can go through it in detail and keenly later on after the class. So this is a conversion of unit. This is the way of learning. Okay, King Hector declares, unite, decide, chocolate. This is kilo, hecto, deca, then actually unit, deci, centi, milli. So this is for length, because it seems to be kilometer, meter, etc. Gram, this is for mass, and next is for volume actually, because it is liter. Fine. So if you are moving from kilometer to hectometer, you need to multiply with 10, where it is written. Okay, left to right, you have to multiply 10. Hectometer to decameter, multiply 10. Decameter to meter, multiply 10, and so on. And if you have to move to inverse, means uh, millimeter to centimeter, then you need to divide it by 10. Smaller to bigger means division by 10. You can look at these arrows. Blue arrows means moving from bigger to smaller unit, multiplication by 10, and smaller to bigger units, division by 10. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Please go through it. That's a very good table, and it will definitely help you in mathematics also for further grade 7th and 8th. Okay, now quickly solve these questions, and you have to write answers in chart. Okay, convert 5 centimeter into millimeter. Oh, for this, but you need to. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, wait. This will be your homework because I'll be sharing the PPT. Then, on the basis of the table I shown this one, you can solve these questions. Conversion. Now, correct ways of measurement of length. That's very simple. How you have to measure the scale means, suppose you have to measure the line. So, will you be keeping your scale 3 centimeter mark on the first point or 0 centimeter mark on the first point? O and E. How you will be measuring? Say children, zero mark only, no? Usually we do this thing. So, and you have to look like, placing your eye exactly in the front of the scale and not from left or right because it will give you incorrect reading. So if there are a few steps you all must be knowing it. Keep the scale in contact with the object to be measured. It should not be lying in the air. Start measuring from the zero mark of scale until unless your scale is like unordered from the zero mark, try to measure it from the zero only. To avoid taking incorrect measurements, the eye position should be correct in front of it, and that's it. Okay. Nothing to write here. Nothing much further. Rest and motion. When we say the objects are at rest, and when we say the objects are in motion, you can go through these PPTs. As I already told you, now you need to put little more efforts for anything. Now, next is the types of motion. Types of motion. First comes rectilinear. Any idea? Actually, the name here only tells you. Linear. Rectilinear has a linear word. When any object moves along a straight line, it is said to be undergoing rectilinear motion. For example, a train moving along a railway track. Although railway track is also noticed, observed to be curved at some points, but in front of the platform, if it is passing through the station, most probably it will be a straight line path. Soldiers in a march past, observed to be in straight line. Okay, so that is an example of a,
Ma'am, is it similar to linear motion?
yes, linear only.
Okay, ma'am.
Kilometer. Okay. Let's say curvilinear. Motion of an object moving in a curved path is called a curvilinear motion. When you throw a stone, suppose when you throw a ball, you are throwing it in this direction, but it will follow a path like this and it will fall to the ground. Is it? So such this path is curvilinear is an example of a curvilinear motion. Yeah. Circular. Example of circular motion is movement of planets around the sun, motion of moon around the earth, the circular ride, the giant wheel, and an athlete moving on a circular track, etc. Okay, is that fine?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Oscillatory motion. Okay, now the to and fro motion of the body about its fixed position is called oscillatory motion, like seesaw.
Ma'am,
Uh,
pendulum.
it's pendulum. Yeah, you can say it as an oscillatory motion. Like suppose if you have a string, you have tied the string out of a rigid support and you have attached a ball. If you make the ball place here by your hand and then release it, it will follow, the motion will follow this path. Is it or not? So that means this is a fixed position about which that ball is moving to and fro, here and there, back and forth. Okay, such type of motions are oscillatory. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
next one, periodic. Periodic word means when anything repeats itself. In your school, there must be 7, 8, or 9 slots when you call it's fifth period, it's sixth period, etc. Right? So each slot is for how many minutes? I expect it to be 35 or 40 minutes max.
Yes.
Okay. So that slots means something is repeating itself after every 35 minutes. Okay. So that's why we call it periodic motion. Now, periodic motion can be circular, it can be oscillatory. If any type of motion is repeating after a fixed interval of time, that any motion will be undergoing periodic motion. Example, pendulum. Now, pendulum, uh, we can say this is under two types of motion, oscillatory as well as periodic, because suppose we say it starts its journey from this point O, it moves to A and then it moves to B and then again to the midpoint, let's say C. So from O, A, then B, then C, it takes 2 seconds. After every 2 seconds, we find this ball at C point only. So this is oscillatory as well as periodic. Motion of moon around the earth is circular as well as periodic because after 24 hours we see some moon in the sky. Okay, motion of earth is around the sun is also periodic because after every 365 days it begins a new year. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Like children are swinging here, so back and forth, and a girl, suppose the girl is trying to move back and forth up to the same position again and again. So that means she's trying to maintain its motion and trying to be periodic. Okay. Any more examples if you can think? Yeah, okay. That's a spring shown here. If you sit on the spring, sometimes that spring chair, if you know about it, children play on that chair. Okay, they sit, stand, sit, stand, sit, stand. So the spring is also making oscillatory because there must be some like mean midpoint in the at the center of the spring about which that spring is moving back and forth. So this is again oscillatory as well as periodic motion. Fine, children?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll be sharing these PPTs in your group. Go through these properly as well as your NCRT book, and we'll share one PDF also for a worksheet. We'll let you know what you have to do in homework. Okay, come with the homework done tomorrow.
Okay, ma'am.
Goodbye. Anything you like to ask from motion and measurement of distances?
Oh,
Okay. Fine, children. See you soon.
bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.